Welcome to Beyond Our Focus. I'm Stefan, this is Amanda, and this is What's in the Box for December 14th.
Apparently I'm bored already.
If you're bored, tired, it's done. It is a Friday. It is the last show of the week. And we have some food today. We have different food. We have, we'll just bring it up to the camera. We've made cinnamon rolls for today. And then this time we have proper aloe juice.
Proper aloe.
Premium 15% pulp original flavor.
No fat and no artificial
Aloe berry
color.
juice drink. That's even better. Oh yeah, in the back here, only sodium and lots of carbohydrates. And
So-
quite a bit of sugar as well in this.
Yeah. Water, cane sugar, aloe vera juice, aloe vera pulp, and water. And then, of course, all the nice, lovely...
High fructose corn syrup, I'm sure.
Actually, no, but white grape flavor.
Because why not?
But no, all the nice little preservatives they have in there.
Yeah. Best before C bottle.
Oh, okay. Expiration 03/10/2020.
2020. We're solid then. I think we'll make it. No fat, no artificial flavor, just tons of sugar.
Yep. That's what makes taste so good. I can't even...
I wonder what natural tastes like. Like actual natural. Let's get rid of all the sugar.
Let's see how weak I am on camera. Uh-huh.
Okay, if we get the
Yeah,
bottle.
I got it. I got this. Oh, okay, it's
It
an
wasn't
angry
that
bottle.
mine too. It just...
It's an angry bottle.
It's like vacuum sealed when you open it. And that, actually, what I meant to do was get a little taste before I jumped into cinnamon rolls, where I won't be able to taste it anymore.
Yeah.
I really like aloe juice,
I do too. It's so good.
especially with the pulp. The little pieces are great, but I feel the same way about orange juice.
I am too. I am definitely all for pulp. But the people who get no pulp orange juice, ooh,
It can be done, but I much prefer the pulp.
I don't. To me, drinking orange juice without the pulp tastes too much like a juice drink, not actual juice. I want the flesh and blood of the orange.
Yeah. Carnivore.
It's a good song.
That's the song?
Yeah, it's by a band called Starset.
Take your word on that.
I love Starset. Apparently another group I have to introduce you to.
Starset. I think you've already told me about it.
Yeah.
I looked them up once. I just haven't actually had time to actually listen.
It's the band that I told you about where their first album was entirely in space.
Yes.
Like it's themed space and transmissions.
Mm.
Stuff like, I think that is the name of the first album is Transmissions.
I think I've gone to it once, but I have to have time, and I'm always not always in the mood for music. I listen to a lot of podcasts personally. I really listen to podcasts. I saw someone post on Facebook today or yesterday, so I'm saying, I've just never really been able to get into podcast. And I'm like, I don't know how. I love listening to podcasts.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you've ever seen the meme. It shows like a kid eating cereal. He's like by like a sign that's like 3 people on it.
Yeah.
It's like someone posted saying, "It's how I feel when I listen to podcasts." It's like you're there, but the people they're not there, not really there, but you kind of feel like you're a part of the conversation because you're hearing these people talk. And
I definitely get that feeling. I mean, as I said, I've listened to a bunch of like different podcasts and everything. The last podcast I listened to was one called Bullshit Free Witchcraft. And it's like, even though most of them, I mean, he does have some where he has a guest, but most of them it's just him talking. And even still, just listening to it while you're working on something, it feels like they're right next to you talking. And it's like you want it. That's the biggest thing, especially listening to podcasts, like group podcasts, and especially listening to them after the date that they were recorded, because it's like suddenly someone's like, oh yeah, but I can't remember the name of it, and you're like, I know, let me tell you. And it's just you can't, like, even if you were to comment on it, it'd be like months back, and you're like, it's not gonna matter now.
No, I very much enjoy listening to podcasts. I don't know. I was introduced a while back at work. Before then, I really didn't listen to podcasts, and I've just been sucked in ever since. So, very, very enjoyable. But occasionally, like today, this morning, I kind of caught up on a lot of my podcasts, finally. Took forever, in a decade. But caught up a little bit to a degree.
Yeah.
And this morning, I listened to soundtracks to Ghibli movies. So a lot of classical stuff.
Yeah.
Or I say Ghibli. I listened to stuff from Spirited Away,
Yeah.
Kiki's Delivery Service, and then went into Your Name. Some really interesting tracks on Your Name. I didn't realize how interesting the soundtrack was until I finally listened to it. Like, after watching the movie, it's like, I didn't pick up on what a unique soundtrack it had, but man, it's got some really cool tracks on it.
I'll have to actually look that one up. Because, I mean, I have listened to those, and I've listened to different versions. Like, they have acoustic versions, and they have jazz versions of the Ghibli Studios. And what was the other one? I also like when they have, like, different instruments and stuff, like, yeah.
It's a very, very...
Piano or violin or just anything. You can pretty much find any version you want on YouTube now.
Well, there's one song called Summer Something that's from Spirited Away. Mm-hmm. That, oh my sweet Lord, is one of my favorite things in the world right now. Mm-hmm. I mean, let me get...
I have a feeling I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, Spirited Away, One Summer's Day is the name of it. And it is amazing. Mm-hmm. I enjoy it all up till... The only part I don't care for is like towards the very end. It gets very, very loud.
Yeah.
Instead of saying very simple, like the rest of the piece had stayed. But still, it is everything. As the young kids say.
As the young kids say.
As the youth be saying, it is everything.
It's everything. But yes, I do know what song you're talking about because...
And I would play it if I wasn't convinced it would give us copyright strike immediately.
It would remove all our audio.
Oh, it's like, okay, can't do that.
But no, I do know which song you're talking about because every time I think of the studios, every time I think about Miyazaki's work, that's the first song that comes to mind.
It's just so beautiful. But I really enjoy good classical instrumental stuff. Mm-hmm. Especially when it's more unique. I'm trying to see if I can find like some of the actual sheet music and stuff to see if me and Sandy could try to play it.
Oh, that
There's a lot of piano in it. So I know there's a piece for her, but trying to see, there's not always, I don't think, a lot of string instrument to see if I can try to work my own way in there as well, have a contributing piece. So I actually have to see.
We were talking about music. How do you feel about Christmas music? Well, we're on the subject of, hey, welcome to December.
I like Christmas music if I wasn't being blasted with it for 8 hours a day.
I agree.
I was curious. I was just going to say, I'm curious where you're going with this, because there's a few places we could go, so...
Well, in general, as far as Christmas music goes, one, if it's the, like, classic songs, I prefer the classic versions. Give me some good old Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and like just...
All of it's jolly. It's meant to be happy music, and it really is. And if I didn't work retail and had to listen to it 8 hours a day, I would very much like Christmas music.
Well, it doesn't help that our specific station plays two of the most, like, I wouldn't say depressing, but just like not very inspirational songs.
Well, they play some good... They've had some good stuff on there.
Well, no, what I'm
Today,
saying...
I'm pretty convinced they played the same song back to back by different people.
Yes, exactly.
And that's like, oh my God!
They did. And that's what bothers me, is because all I want for Christmas is you. And last Christmas, we have about 5 to 6 different versions of the songs played multiple times throughout the day.
And that gets annoying.
Why do we need those 2 songs, which are all about how depressing Christmas is because either they don't have said person or said person broke their heart? Why do we need that in our lives? Like, for that many times a day?
Well, just because we're on the topic of Christmas. Didn't know if you were going to go there or not. But you did make the post about it on Facebook.
I did.
Baby, it's cold outside.
Ah, yes. How did you actually read the post? Yeah.
Yes, because I'd already heard, because the things have been posted on Facebook about a particular radio station banning it from that radio station because in today's society, it is very problematic.
Yes, it promotes rape culture, or it promotes sexual assault, and it just promotes pressure, pretty much it.
But that Pishum, I was like, oh, that's very interesting. And I read the entire thing, and I'm like, this makes a lot more sense how this actually worked very well in the time that it was written.
Yes.
It made sense at that point. But nowadays, doesn't necessarily work. Mm. Things that are said in that song is like, ooh, you can't say that. You can't do that. But how he explained it, I'm like, oh, this makes sense for how it was written in the time that it was. It just doesn't work now.
Yes, because when it came out, it was pretty much like, it was very promiscuous or very unheard of for a woman to be alone, pretty much alone with a man and like wanting to stay overnight or anything like that.
Well, women weren't allowed to want sex. They just were not allowed. That's not, no!
And so it's like, it's pretty much she got into a situation where she really liked said person, and so she kept coming up with reasons why she should go and hoping he would, be like, well, I'm going to give you a reason to stay.
Exactly.
And so her being like, I really must go. And he said, oh, but it's cold outside. And like, just going through these reasons, like, oh, what will the neighbors think? And it's just like, just all these different reasons why maybe she should go, but she doesn't want to. It would be disappointing for her if her be like, well, it's getting late, I need to go, and him be like, okay, have a nice night. Like,
well, one of the most problematic lyrics in the entire song is he explains very nicely, which was the "What's in this drink?"
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because that does scream like date rape. Whatever. I don't know what does.
But no, I didn't reread the article because as I said, I reread it last year, I believe. Mm. And so I didn't reread it when I posted it because I was like, but wasn't it just because it was another thing where drinking wasn't really?
Well, it was. Technically, that was more of a joke the way it's said.
Yeah.
And it's actually, by saying that, it's actually meant that the drink either had very little to actually no alcohol at all, and by her saying what's in this drink is trying to give an excuse. Well, I only stayed because I was tipsy or whatever, when truthfully there actually is nothing there. It's supposed to be like a joke. It is a thing in that time.
Also, it doesn't help in today's... Okay, here's the other line that some people had problems with nowadays, is that at one point in time, one of the reasons he gives for her not going is pretty much like his pride. Like don't pretty much like, why would you hurt my pride, or like something to do with his pride. Mm-hmm. And nowadays people have a huge problem with that. Like, oh, so because of his pride, she should do whatever he wants, or she should do whatever he wants her to. And so the other thing about the song, though, which bothers me about nowadays and how it's sung, if you listen to a classic version of that song, it is playful. The voices and stuff they give, you can tell she really doesn't want to go. Nowadays, the versions they are making of it is the opposite. It's making it sound more like a pressured situation. And it's like, of course people are going to get a negative effect from this song if you're singing it that way.
There we go. At least I'm going to say that I tried. What's the sense of hurting my pride?
Yeah.
I have to find the lyrics here.
Yes, and people have a huge problem with that. Like, his pride shouldn't be an issue.
It's a song of its time, in the end. It really is a song of its time. It's still a Christmas classic, and if you actually understand it in the sense of when it was written, it's fine. It's a perfectly fine song. There's nothing wrong with it. truthfully, the song actually promotes the exact opposite of what people say it does now.
Yes, it pretty much, it's promoting a,
It's promoting a woman actually trying to maybe actually attain what she actually wants, and not actually him pressuring her into it.
It's being playful. It's wanting to start that, or pretty much encourage a relationship or a night out, but still trying to either do the playful, hard to get thing, or the opposite, like literally going, oh, well, my parents and my mom or the neighbors and everything like that, like being all like cutesy about it. And people nowadays, it's just not the same.
No, it's not the same. And it was much more acceptable when it was written for a man to be much more strong about it and coming on to a woman, and it not so much acceptable for the opposite way. So it's just, again, it's a song of its time, and yes, unfortunately with the way it is now, it doesn't really fit into the society, and it actually comes off not that good when you just listen to it the way it is.
Well, as I said, it also depends on who's singing it, because last year on our station, actually, the one we were playing at the store, they actually did sing a version of it where, I don't remember who the singers were. The female almost sounded like, is it Zoe Deschanel? Bones' sister. She was an elf, and
I know who you're talking about. I don't.
Yeah.
Never.
It sounded like her, but either way, like, they made it to be like, he is the bad guy. Like, literally by the end of it, she's like, well, that's too bad, I'm going home. Like, it promoted a very strong, like, feminine role of, this is my body, I'm doing what I want. Which is fine, except then,
but
of course, you're demonizing that song.
You are, but that is what the... If it's in the right context, and this is truthful and everything else, that's actually what the song was actually promoting to begin with.
Yes, except they have turned it into the... They pretty much demonized the man in the song.
Yes,
like,
yes.
Because he's like, well, why don't you stay? And she's like, no. And pretty much, like, that's how her vibe is throughout the entire thing. Like, I'm leaving. Like, you can't make me stay. And it's just like, then you've changed you've changed the song.
Yes.
And the other thing is, though, which I did find interesting, because I did hear it today, is they did play it, but opposite. It is... They have changed the roles where it's actually the guy coming up with reasons why he needs to leave, and the woman actually saying, like, well, maybe you should stay. It's cold outside. Like, they actually play that one on our station.
That's a fun way of going about it. But truthfully, if it's demonizing for the man to give the woman pressure, shouldn't it be demonizing for the woman to give the man pressure?
Yes, it should be. It should equally be both ways.
But it's not.
No
matter
of
what.
course not.
You hear that and it's like, oh yeah, she's being assertive and she's being blah blah blah, and it's like, what?
I know.
Why don't we switch the roles? It's fine.
It's double standards. It's always going to be double standards.
Song that wasn't bad because of the times have kind of turned it that way, and that's interesting.
Yeah,
it's interesting.
It's fun actually. And maybe we'll come up with a couple of these to talk about closer to our, like, Christmas What's in the Box. But there are a lot of Christmas songs that actually have totally different meanings or came out in a specific time that was not as jolly as we thought they were. And so I think it would actually be fun to go over a couple of those.
Yeah, I'm all down for that.
Yay! We have an activity. If you guys actually have suggestions of songs we should talk about, or if you've heard some really interesting insight on any of them, please let us know.
Or anything interesting to talk about on our Christmas episode at all?
Yeah.
Throw that out there.
I mean, hey, if you got connections to Rudolph and you want us to interview him, just let us know. I mean...
I found out today that some of the reindeer's names weren't exactly what I thought they were, so...
Was it the Spanish one? Like, was it... What it was... Are you just literally thinking... Are you just literally finding out that their names are certain and you've been hearing them wrong? Or are you talking about the one that's like, Jose, Ole?
No, not at all. Because could you name all the reindeer?
I used to be able to, and because of Jingle All the Way, I should be able to. Because he literally says it 50 times on his way to the radio station. He's like, Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Donner, Cupid. No, it's, something. I know. What? I know there's a Cupid, but...
No.
Comet. So it's,
The last two are the ones I didn't know. Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid.
Donner, Blitzen.
Those aren't actually Donner and Blitzen from the original one. That's not how it originally was done.
What was it originally
done? Donner
and
Blixen.
Blixen? What the
That is from supposedly the original poem that these are based off of. That was the original names. And they have been changed in different songs to be different things. Donner being one of them instead of Donder. Donder. Donder is what it says here. There's a couple different ways that some of the names have been changed, altered. Those two have been changed to two other different names in different songs and different things. I think it's Donder is original, Dahmer is in one of them, and Donner is...
Donner is the one I've heard. But don't name your reindeer Dahmer. Please don't name your reindeer Dahmer.
I just thought it was interesting because I was looking that up.
No, I did not know that.
It came so easy.
No, I thought you were talking about the Spanish random song that comes on.
No, that's definitely not. Reindeer are blah blah blah. They are based on they're based on they visit blah 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 enduring. I typed in one that explicitly said exactly what I was trying to say the right way, but it's not popping up again. Of course, it's not. But that's fine too.
Once again, look up cast, where we look up things on our phone.
Yeah, that's what we do best. It's what we do best. Just it's all good though. Yeah, I just thought it was interesting. I didn't realize that.
I didn't either.
And of course, they also said that nowadays Rudolph is sometimes thrown in because he's the popular reindeer. Good old Rudolph.
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer. That's another one with multiple versions. I forgot one of my favorite Rudolph songs. I forget who sings it. It's a more laid back one, and most of the song is the same except for the whole they never let poor Rudolph play any reindeer games, and then of course all of the other reindeers used to laugh and call him names, all of the other reindeer, what is it?
I thought the original was used to laugh and call him names.
No, after that one. It's then one foggy Christmas Eve, Santa came to say, Rudolph with your nose so bright, won't you guide my sleigh tonight? Then all the reindeer loved him, and they shouted out with glee. But at some point in that song, they changed that part, or they added a spot afterwards where Rudolph literally is like, you guys made fun of me. He's like, and then it was said, all of the reindeer feel shame or something like that. It was...
Reindeer, poor Rudolph, you little bastards were a complete pain to me. I'm going to lead this sleigh by myself. All of you go away.
Okay, now you rant and I'll look this up.
I don't know what they're ranting about.
I don't know either.
Christmas, shouldn't eat if I'm going to rant. If I'm the one supposed to be talking. Probably shouldn't eat a cinnamon roll at the same time. I can't even say, I don't even, as far as Christmassy songs.
Do you have a favorite one?
Not really. Not really.
Is there one you absolutely hate?
No, they're there. I'm fine with them when they play at work. It's oh, that's fine. And they've been fine up to today was the first day I've started getting annoyed with them because we've been listening to for every day at work. And it's oh my God.
I was wishing they would have at least waited till December, but no, they didn't.
Of course they didn't. Or I wish they'd done a little bit more like last year. I'm fine if they sprinkle them into the normal music. That's great. Every third or fourth song have a Christmas song. That's fantastic. But every song especially when you play the same song back to back, it's like, oh, this is really, really annoying. So, actually, there are some songs. What was it? I heard in another store the other day. What was it? It's like a very, very Christian song. Christmas song. I'm trying to remember what it was. I actually really, really enjoy it, just how it sounds.
Okay, wait. Start again? Sorry.
Oh, so you told me a song that I really enjoyed,
Yeah.
a Christmas song. I can't remember how it goes, but it's very Christian-y. Very.
Well, they have Hark the Herald Angels Sing. They have Noel. They have Silent Night, which was one of my favorite ones. And
Might be Silent Night.
In German, it's really pretty too.
I don't know. I'd have to hear it.
But,
I also do enjoy what I am going to be playing at my next recital, which is Carol of Bells.
Oh my god! Yes.
It's a fun one. It's really, really quick. The thing is, I never can ever tell what they're actually saying in their quick talking part.
Well, yeah, because it's like...
I'm like, oh, I don't... Oh, okay.
I found it. It's Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, sung by Jack Johnson. And it says, as they shouted out with glee, yippee, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, you'll go down in history. Well, Rudolph, he didn't go for that. He said, I see through your silly games. How could you look me in the face when only yesterday you called me names? Well, all of the other reindeers, man, well, they sure did feel ashamed. Rudolph, you know we're sorry. We're truly going to change.
Well, that makes it all nice and nifty there. Which song is it? Was it Grandpa ran over by a reindeer? Grandma ran over by a reindeer.
Grandma got ran over by a reindeer. Yeah.
There we go. That's a fun one. So, there's some good ones. There's some good stuff.
I'm like, I have more Christmas questions, and I'm like, but we should probably wait till closer to Christmas.
Yeah, this isn't the Christmas episode, even though we've kind of leaned
this
that
is
way a
the
lot.
December episode. December 14th. I don't know.
I guess that is the day. Yeah, we're getting there. For this, we have 2 solid weeks till Christmas.
This is true. So then.
No, not 2 solid weeks. That'd be 14 more days. It'd be 28th. Less than 2 weeks. Like a week and a half. Can't act today.
So, I guess we shall move on. I know neither of us have seen anything new.
I've only watched Christmas movies. Jump back into the Christmas theme.
I've watched pretty much nothing. But there's a bunch of stuff coming out.
And of course, the greatest Christmas movie of all time. Die Hard. No.
I thought you were going to say the Santa Claus.
No, that is my favorite, period. The Santa Claus is always my favorite Christmas movie.
The Santa Claus is brilliant.
Love. But that's also another reason I really like Carol of Bells. Because it starts off with Carol of Bells. Mm-hmm. So, I just love how it starts with... Do-do-do-do-do.
Yeah.
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. I'm dreaming. Actually, White Christmas, isn't it?
I was about to be like...
It's a different song.
Yeah.
So it does start with... It's in there, too. But...
I have... The Santa Claus is pretty much high up there as one of my favorites. But I really like Jingle All the Way.
I haven't seen it ever.
I love that one. It's hilarious. And then... Christmas with the Cranks is fun to watch any time of the year. Just...
I haven't seen that for over a decade as well.
Oh my goodness. It's hilarious. Because it's like Jamie Lee Curtis and Tim Allen. Just both of them. Just hilarious. Like the fact that, of course, they're just planning on skipping Christmas. And just all the crazy stuff that happens in a small little town where everybody knows everybody. Free Frosty, free Frosty.
I just always loved the Santa Claus.
I like the first one.
Yeah, the first one.
Yeah.
The second one
emphasize
not as great,
that.
and the
The
third
first
one was
one.
fine.
Eh.
But no, the first one. Cool idea. I also really like the Polar Express.
Yes, that's another really good one.
I can say I plan on watching that here next couple nights.
Yeah, Polar Express. We used to watch Prancer. There's another one that used to come on TV all the time, which is just about the reindeer. A little girl who, I don't even remember really. I want to say she finds a reindeer and she figures out that it's actually Prancer and he got separated from. And she tries to convince everyone that it's actually Prancer and no one believes her. But
it's a reindeer. They walk pretty wild. How did she have a name tag? Hi, I'm Prancer.
I don't remember how. As I said, it's been forever since I've watched it. The one movie that everybody's like, oh, it's the traditional Christmas thing, is A Christmas Story, and I never got into it.
I can't even promise I've seen it.
I don't know. Little boy with glasses, lamp shaped like a leg, a bunny suit.
I've never heard of it, and I may have seen pieces. I can't promise I've ever actually seen the whole movie.
I don't know, it's just not up there on my traditionals.
No, mine will always be Halloween is Hocus Pocus, and Christmas is Santa Claus. Those are my two holiday things. Those what I always will love. Those are great. And then if you just want to throw one directly in the middle, you just throw The Nightmare Before Christmas, and you got it.
For a while there, especially with just my dad and I, it was Sleepy Hollow, the Johnny Depp version, on Halloween, and of course Hocus Pocus. Nightmare Before Christmas was either or both, and then Christmas was, of course, Nightmare Before Christmas, and then Santa Claus, Jingle All the Way, everything like that. But
yeah, we were looking through our Christmas movies yesterday and realizing that, we actually don't have that many Christmas movies. We literally we have The Santa Claus and Home Alone. I think that's it. That's the and she claims, and I believe we do have the Grinch, the
Jim Carrey.
Yeah, Jim Carrey version of the Grinch. So, which wasn't really in the mood since we just watched that new animated one not too long ago. Mm-hmm. So it's like, don't really feel like I need to see another Grinch movie right now.
I really like Jim Carrey as the Grinch.
Hey, he did a great job.
Yeah.
But still, I was like, I just watched a Grinch movie.
Yeah.
I don't need to see it again.
I don't think I own any Christmas movies besides I currently have my mom's copy of Christmas with the Cranks. Otherwise, I don't think I have any. Oh, and The Nightmare Before Christmas I have not.
I'll have that. According to what you want to consider.
Yeah.
I mean, it's more of a Halloween than a Christmas, but involves both.
It literally is a door between the two worlds, so it's both.
That's the one you watch on Thanksgiving. Like, there's not really a great Thanksgiving movie, so that's just The Nightmare Before Christmas, right there in the middle.
I can't remember if it is a short, if it was a little animation that someone else did, or if it's part of the Kingdom Hearts games.
Well, I'm glad you're really confident what's going on here.
But they do explore other doors besides Christmas and Halloween. I think either they go into the Easter door or the Thanksgiving door.
I don't know. Again, like you just, since you mentioned Kingdom Hearts, it almost makes me want to think it happens in Kingdom Hearts.
I would not be surprised. I love Kingdom Hearts.
I have mixed feelings with Kingdom Hearts. I enjoyed the games. That's the two that I've played.
Which two did you play? The first two?
Yeah. Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 2. Yeah. But they've had 14 other games and 14 other consoles. And
I've played the first two and then randomly tried one of the console ones as an emulator. Like the handheld console ones. Like it was whichever one had cards in it. Like
I don't know. I've never played any of the other ones. And I'm never going to play any of the other ones. And the story's so convoluted. It's too much. It's so convoluted that I don't actually even want to play the third one. Because I love story. And the games are fun and it's cool the other worlds. But it's like, if I want to jump into the third one and be like, sure, let's go into these other worlds, even though I don't have no idea what's actually going on. So
I love crossing I guess it wouldn't be crossing genres, but I just love collaborations.
No.
Like,
that's the collaborations, especially between all the Disney properties and all the stuff they go through, is like very, very, very cool. Another reason why I also liked, I mentioned it multiple times before, is the comic jumper. Mm-hmm. The idea of him jumping into other people's comics and interacting with those things. Like, it's cool seeing an out-of-place person into things that you enjoy.
Sorry, I was thinking one thing and something totally different came. But, like, I have not been following Arrow. I've not been following Flash. And I've not been following Supergirl. But I think it's this weekend, actually. Either this weekend or next weekend. No, it's next weekend. They're having a 3-night event where they blend the worlds.
Yeah. Well, I know they're doing stuff. I saw something.
Yeah, and it's like, I saw that, like, I've not been keeping track of any of them. I haven't been watching them. I have no idea what's going on. But the fact that they are crossing over, I love it. Like, I just love crossovers.
It's always cool. We got out of it. Once they took it off Hulu, we completely fell off. And I don't like series generally that want to, like, oh, we need 22, 24, 25 episodes a season. Because it just feels like, oh, there's like 6 or 7 actual episodes and the rest is just complete and total crap filler. And it gets to where it's like, I have so much I have to watch and half of it's filler and I'm not getting a good quality story. Yeah. And it's like, why? Another reason why I enjoyed the Rest in Peace, the Netflix shows that lasted, is that they were shorter. They're contained.
I love how you say rest in peace.
Well, yeah, Iron Fist, Luke Cage, and Daredevil all canceled.
Yep.
So, rest in peace. So, but I enjoy the smaller stories, the more contained stories that actually...
I didn't even get to watch them, by the way.
Well, I can still recommend them. I think they're good. Except for Iron Fist Season 1. Not particularly great. But I enjoyed Iron Fist Season 2. I thought it was a huge improvement over 1. It was actually good. I enjoyed it quite a bit. And Daredevil Season 3 was phenomenal.
We still got to go through the other 2 seasons first.
Yeah. Well, the first season's phenomenal. Third season's phenomenal. Half of the second season, phenomenal. It's broken into 2.
I didn't even finish Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Well, it doesn't tie into these at all. So.
No. Not that. It's just the fact that as far as like actually being able to consistently watch stuff, I haven't even finished.
It's now officially been renewed for another season.
What, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Yes. Oh. Because they didn't renew it. Like when that one ended, it just ended.
Yeah.
They even ended it as though it could end. And just let it be. And
that's nice.
Now they're renewing it now.
Interesting.
I think it was their way of kind of pausing it as the Infinity War stuff happens.
That'd be a good thing to do.
So.
No, I definitely, as I said, it gets tiring sitting here watching stuff on my phone. Like, it's like, if I really, really want to watch something, like, as soon as Season 2 of Stranger Things came out, I don't care. Was hooked to my phone. That was it. I was going to watch all of it. And I did. Oh, I just did that whole thing.
Yeah.
But watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. even, like, that was fine. I power watched, like, I don't know how many seasons, but I think I made it through 2, maybe? Yeah, I think so.
I don't know where you are.
And it's, like, literally just sitting there watching it like that. And it's like, that's fine. But after a while, you're just like, throw that up on the bathroom mirror and...
I'm sure there's a cord that will connect to your television.
But it technically would be considered tethering. Which being that I use Straight Talk, it's one of those things that...
It's not tethering, it's just duplicating that screen to that screen to make it bigger.
Yeah, there should be an HDMI cord for it.
And that should be the hugest problem in the world. And just like, just duplicate it to the bigger screen. Now I can sit down and watch it. I'm just saying that it would be a way.
I know. There's ways. Just monies. You'd be surprising how expensive cords are.
Oh, I know. They cost a tenth of what they sell them for, but that was always the interesting thing. When I worked at Best Buy, knowing people that work at Best Buy's discount is cost plus like 10%. That's how they do their discount. So whatever it costs them personally to get it, plus 10%, so they still made something. That's what your discount was.
Say that one more time.
Cost plus 10%.
Okay.
So your discount, if something costs them $5 to get it from the manufacturer, $5.50 is what it costs you.
Mm-hmm.
So cords, like HDMI cords and everything, that cost like $50 or $60, you can get for like $7. Because cords don't cost almost nothing to actually make.
Yeah.
And don't cost anything for them to get, and it just gets upcharged like a son of a gun. But that's how they make their money. They make their money on the accessories because, like, video game consoles, you practically get nothing off video game consoles. Because you don't make a lot. They don't make a lot off that. They make money off the controllers and the cords and everything you buy for that.
Well, it's like laptops and tablets that are coming out these days. Like, the iPads and even Microsoft, like their Microsoft Surface, and just anything. Like, if it is a tablet, then you have to, it does not come with the keypad. It does not come with the case. And sometimes these are the things that actually appeal to people about the product. Like, I really want a Microsoft Surface. But unless you buy a bundle, you just have the tablet. And then the keyboard by itself is like, okay, so I just spent $600 to $700 on the tablet itself. Now you want me to pay like, what, $50 to whatever for the keypad and a case? Like, okay, yay!
Well, that's where they're making their money.
Yeah.
And the accessories that don't cost almost nothing to make, but they're going to charge out the... that's how it is.
No.
Like I said, that's what was cool about the Best Buy discount. That you actually got on the accessory type stuff is where you actually did it.
Yeah.
Not really saving a lot of money on the big stuff, but it's the little stuff you need, the extra stuff. I need an HDMI cord. Well, $7-8 HDMI cord.
I know nothing about electronics, though. I could never work at Best Buy. I'd be one of those people who'd be no help to anybody. Like, excuse me, how do you do this? Or, excuse me, what...
I worked, when I worked there, what do they call it? IC,
freight, I mean.
like, or APA, basically, IC. It was the inventory control team. So, repricing the store, like, watching the front door, watching the cameras. There was stuff like that. The short period of time I worked there.
I think you've told me why, but I have no idea.
I got fired. Mainly due to the fact that my supervisor hated me.
Oh, okay, that's always nice.
Yeah. My manager really liked me, but my supervisor didn't. And I got written up for a couple things I definitely shouldn't have, and then I also got written up for a couple things I definitely should have, which went into my firing. Or she got someone else, a different manager other than my manager, to sit me down and fire me.
So what you're saying is that you didn't get away with some stuff that you probably do at your current job.
Just a few things that probably I should have been written up for, but several things that I shouldn't have been written up for that I did get. But yeah, so I didn't not like her at all. She still works there.
Yay!
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that's 10 years then. So I did that. That was the second job while I was working my current one. Or when I first started mine.
Oh.
Actually, rephrase that. I worked when I was working 3 jobs. I was in transitioning between working at one overnight and working on another during the day where I could because I was in the transition and I was working there as a second job. So I had 3 jobs at one point. I did what I had to do. It sucks.
To you.
It sucks. It's terrible. Working 2 jobs suck. Working 3, there was no time off ever.
It's okay. I've recently been thinking about that. Like, I'm like, seriously, at this point in life, I need a second job. Like, I emotionally could not handle it, but livelihood, if I'm planning on saving for anything, it appears that I probably need a second job because it's not going to come from anywhere else.
I understand. I did it when I had to do it. And as soon as my wife graduated college and got a better job, I quit. And literally the weekend of. I put my 2 weeks in. The core side, basically, when she was graduating. So I go to her graduation and everything. And that last weekend, they scheduled me for every single day. And I just didn't show up. I just quit. I was done. Nice. I was like, you know I put my 2 weeks in, and you're going to be a douchebag and basically just put me... Normally I'm working 2 days a week, 3 days a week. Now I'm working like 7. Like, no.
They want to use the last bit of you while they still have you.
Pretty much. And so I just didn't show up. Last like 4 days of work. Does it really matter? At that point, it was a second job. I still had a full-time job.
Yeah.
And they were basically screwing me, so well, whatever. I don't need you. I'm quitting. What are you going to do?
You're going to quit? You're going to fire me because I quit?
Pretty much. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't help. It doesn't help do anything. God, hello juice is good.
That Dollar General. Dollar.
Good
Promotion. As I promote the nutrition facts. Whoops, my bad. There we go. See, this isn't even the normal stuff that I get.
Still good.
Because I usually get Aloe King.
And it's still tasty.
Pulp. Except that, I don't know about you, but it just seems so small. Like, for the fact that it has pulp in it, just the skinny bottle, it just doesn't work out too well. Like, because the pulp will get stuck right there, and you're like, I can't get out.
So, yeah, I understand working multiple jobs. And you have to do it sometimes. But it sucks.
Yeah, I'm getting to that point in life.
It really, really sucks.
Water sucks. It really sucks.
Oh, that's not so bad.
H2O! Water sucks. Yeah.
And with the podcast to itself
yes,
is pretty much a second job.
Yes, it just doesn't pay as well.
I'm going to say not as well, maybe not at all.
We're paid in entertainment.
So, but for how much time it takes.
Yes.
It's like our 2 evenings of filming is like, oh, that's a couple shifts at a job, and then when I've got to go edit, and well, that's another day of the job, and then creating the thumbnails take time, and then drawing the comics take time, and it's like, whew, there's just a lot of extra stuff. It's enjoyable, but it still takes time.
And these days, time is money. So when time is not creating money, if it
wasn't enjoyable, it wouldn't be worth it.
No, not at all. Earlier, when I said that my brain went one direction and was trying to stay over here, I forgot what that other direction was. Because I forgot what we were talking about.
I don't remember either.
Yeah.
I never remember what happened. What we were talking about? Every time.
We were talking about crossovers.
Okay, yeah.
And for some reason, randomly came to mind, do you remember a movie called Kid in King Arthur's Court?
The name sounds familiar.
It's about a guy, or a kid
yeah,
that gets pretty much transported into the King Arthur days. They had a sequel to it called Kid in Aladdin's Palace.
That also sounds familiar, but I didn't. Maybe I saw it when I was a kid. Maybe, I don't know.
It's just something that reminded me of, I don't know, it just crossovers for some reason.
Mm-hmm. Crossovers are cool. People love crossovers.
And then, of course, there's Black Knight. You've never seen Black Knight? The Black Knight? It's has...
Is it similar to the Knights that say knee?
No. What is it? It's the guy from Bad Boys, not Will Smith, obviously.
Martin Lawrence.
Martin Lawrence, okay. So it's Martin Lawrence, and he works at a Renaissance theme park kind of thing, and he ends up falling into their moat and being transported back into the Renaissance era.
Sounds like it might be familiar. Might be. I may have seen it way back in the day.
I don't know, we tend to quote it a lot at work and stuff. Like, at one point in time, they're having a feast or whatever, and they put something in front of him, and he's like, "What is that?" And the king's like, "'Tis food." And he's like, "'Tis roadkill, man." Yeah.
I feel like I've seen it, but don't remember very much of it. But nothing's better than when you quote a movie and who you're with actually gets the quote. I can just pick it out and be like, yes!
It's like, and even better if they don't even like say what it's from, they just carry on to whatever was right after that, or like
exactly. When you get a good quote, or someone who's seen something as much as you have, or the same thing, and understand, it's like perfect. I tend to make a lot of quotes that nobody understands anything. And people just carry on. It's like, all right, that's fun.
You don't hang out with us enough. It gets bad, like, because we'll either go back and forth an entire conversation of quotes, or we'll break into song. Like the other day, what were we talking about? Just randomly talking about Disney movies or something like that, and someone had mentioned that their favorite one was the Aristocats. And so they had walked out, and as soon as they walked out, we weren't waiting for them to walk out. It just happened to be timed with them walking out. We're like, everybody wants to be a cat, because the cat's the only cat who knows where it's at. Yeah. So they came back in, and they came back in, and we had happened to have stopped right there. And so we're like, you just missed it.
I enjoyed the Aristocats.
Oh, yeah.
Been a while since I've seen it. I enjoyed the Aristocats.
Yeah, definitely. And then we were talking about Oliver and Company today.
I haven't seen.
Yeah.
It's been a minute since I've seen Oliver and Company.
Because I named my first cat Oliver after Oliver and Company. Because we randomly brought up the Chihuahua, like.
Remember a little bit. I don't remember
Tito
a lot
or whatever
about Oliver and Company. It's been a long time since I've seen that.
Like,
a movie that I want.
If this is torture, chain me to the wall.
It's been so long. A movie that I really want to see again, because it's been forever since I've seen it. 10 times out of 10, I forget the name of the movie.
Oh no!
And I forgot the name of the movie. I'm going to tell you the rooster's name, and you're going to tell me if you know what this movie is.
Okay. Because
I remember loving the movie, but it's been so incredibly long, and Sandy refuses to watch it with me.
I think I know what you're talking about. Continue.
I may have mentioned it before.
No, I think I've just thought of the name of this movie, but go ahead.
What's the name of it?
No, go say it. Say go.
No, say what it is!
Is it Rock-a-Doodle-Doo?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or
something like that.
It's not called Rock-a-Doodle-Doo.
No, it's called Rock-a...
The thing is...
Yeah.
But the rooster's name is Chanticleer.
Yeah.
Chanticleer. What's the name of it, though? The name of the movie?
It is something like Rock-a-Doodle or something like
something like that. But I never, ever, ever remember the name.
Yeah, I know.
Never. But I remember enjoying it. And I tried to get her to watch it one time. And because the beginning is really like overly cheery and happy and cheesy, because it's supposed to be, because he's playing like in a cartoon.
It's just Rock-a-Doodle.
Maybe it is. I didn't think it was called that.
Yeah.
Oh, good job then. But I want to rewatch it.
1991.
Like really, really, really want to watch it. But I hadn't seen it in...
I haven't seen that one in ages.
Exactly. I feel like we're just going to have to watch it one day. You can just sit down and watch it. Like, Sandy doesn't want to watch it with me.
Oh my goodness, that's been a minute since I've seen
because
that one.
Because Chanticleer plays in like a kid's cartoon in the cartoon movie. He plays in that, and it's super overly cheery and happy and stuff. And she couldn't get through the opening 2.5 minutes to get past that.
But it's a good movie.
I agree, but she won't watch it.
It's kind of like I don't know why that reminds me of in All Dogs Go to Heaven.
Another movie that I actually don't remember anything about, but I know I've seen it.
Yeah, but the That one I do have. I have the first and second one. Well, technically, Chat does. But
I wouldn't mind watching the first one again.
But the crocodile or whatever that has the bone through its nose and it sings. Like, so when it finds out that Charlie has a singing voice, it decides not to eat him because it wants to sing with him. Yeah.
Like I said, I don't remember nothing about the movie. I know I've seen it, so I have a vivid memory of when I watched it, but I don't actually remember anything about the movie.
It's amazing.
Yeah. It's one of my few, I'd say few, but I still want to say few. One of my few good memories of my mother.
Oh.
So, I remember watching when we were kids, and all the kids laying in the parents' room.
Yeah.
And my dad, I think at that time I'm pretty sure, was a repo man.
Yeah.
He went out, he had a friend and they went out and they collected cars and stuff. And he worked at night, and I remember just being in the room watching that movie. But again, don't remember anything about the movie.
Well, that means you're focused on your family. But, no, you said Repo Man, and I thought of Repo.
Yeah, that's a movie too.
The first thing I thought of was Repo the Genetic Opera, because that's the first one I saw.
That's
and then,
also
the movie. Then, of course, Repo Man came out. But.
Yeah, it's old cartoon. But Rock Doodle, I would love to watch that again.
Did you ever watch Cats Don't Dance?
That doesn't even sound familiar.
Okay.
Because they definitely danced, and
Well, Aristocats, yes, they did. No, Cats Don't Dance is pretty much about a cat who wants to make it out and... Sorry, your thing's doing a thing.
It is doing a thing.
It's about a cat that wants to make it into, like, the movies and stuff. Like, make it in Hollywood, pretty much. So, goes there and... I want to say it's a... I can't remember if the main character is a guy cat or a girl cat, but either way, they meet another cat, and they want to get into show business, and there's this girl that kind of is like a cartoon... What? Is it Shirley Temple? I don't know. Either way, her character plays something like that, but on screen she's cute and sweet and everything, but then off screen she's just a total, just like, whoo! And pretty much when the cats and stuff start kind of taking over the show, she starts sabotaging stuff. Yeah. That's all I remember about the movie.
Shirley Temple. That's the little kid actress?
Mm-hmm. The one who did, like, animal crackers in my shoe.
I think I know what you're talking about. I watched a documentary on her, like a long time ago, about her coming up and everything, and how they lied about her age and how old she was, and all kinds of things. It was just interesting.
Dun, dun. Well, it looks like your computer's not dying.
I guess. I don't know. There's some weird colors. I don't know what's going on over there. Where do we go from here?
I was just thinking about other old... there was another one that came to mind with as far as old cartoons, like in that same...
I don't think any of these movies are Disney movies. I mean, like Rock-a-Doodle-Doo.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Your cat movie and...
Cats Don't Dance?
Yes,
I don't think so.
And All Dogs Go to Heaven and...
Oh my god, I still love All Dogs Go to Heaven.
I could remember any of it. I could...
Did you ever watch the second one?
I don't know that either. Maybe. I know there is a second one, but...
The second one is pretty much Charlie comes back because the big bulldog from the first one, I don't even remember his name. Either way, he steals a horn from heaven and it gets dropped onto Earth, so she sent the pink dog from the first movie sends Charlie out to get it. Charlie and Itchy. I love Itchy.
I mean, I feel like as a kid I definitely did, but it's...
You need to watch them again.
Probably.
So today we kind of did a little bit of switching up. We went Christmas stuff. We went like Christmas and then switched over to movies, like Christmas and jobs and important stuffs and then movies.
We've definitely gone a different route than we normally can go with these.
Still came back
shows.
to movies, but yeah.
Yeah, it's always movies there. Always movies. Well, anywhere else we want to go?
I can't think of. I don't know. Don't look at me.
The real question is, do we want to draw something out of the box to stimulate the conversation, or do we want to call it? This will be a shorter episode.
What time is it? Because I gotta see the responsibilities in life. That means that I have a comic to add text to, so that you can get it tomorrow.
Yeah,
Also,
which means we probably should end it here.
I'm gonna text to see if I have a ride.
Oh, I didn't even forget about that.
Because he said he gets off at 8, but sometimes he stays later, so I don't know.
Well, throw a text, see how that goes. Y'all can watch her throw a text, because that's what we do in these shows.
I'm literally throwing it, by the way.
It's in a carrier pigeon.
Could you imagine? Would you ever want to talk by carrier pigeon?
No. And it's one of the weird things, in my opinion, about Harry Potter.
The owls?
The owls. They don't make any sense.
Why?
Logically, that is the worst way to ever get mail anywhere, period. And they have magic.
Well, what?
They have magic. And the best way they can think about getting a letter from point A to point B is an owl. From like the 1750s or something.
The aesthetic.
I agree. It works well for the aesthetic, but makes no logical sense.
Well, you want them to have flu powder for envelopes?
I mean, would that really be out of the realm of possibility?
No.
They can evaporate and go anywhere they want. They can make things disappear and reappear. They can do all kinds of crazy things. I can't get a letter to you?
No.
Without flying it for 3 weeks on an owl?
No.
So it's quite interesting that that's the route they chose.
It makes it cool.
But that makes no sense at all.
But it makes it cool.
Yeah.
I would rather get an envelope delivered by an owl than by a mailman.
No, I'm just saying, in general, doesn't make any sense. So, throwing it out there. It's also interesting how it shows in a lot of ways in Harry Potter that magic has actually held them back because they don't understand our technology, like computer and emails and.
What is the purpose of a rubber duck?
The thing, because they've had magic, they seem to be stuck in like the 1950s,
which I'm pretty okay with. Well, I mean, obviously, unless you have Muggle parents like Hermione, where she got both worlds.
Yes. But it's interesting that those movies, they feel like they come out of like way back in the past.
Yeah.
They really don't when you start looking at how it contrasted with like the modern world.
Yeah.
That their magic has actually held them back so much. They can do amazingly cool things, but they don't know what an email is.
But would they really need an email at that point?
Yes! If the best thing you got is an owl, yes, you need email.
Send me the owl.
But I'm just saying. Did we get a response?
No.
We need a response.
Well, it'd be easier to call him, but I'm not going to call him on podcast.
Chad, you're on what's in the box. Yeah. Am I getting picked up? Yep, okay.
Oh, well, that was a great conversation. Did he answer? I'm sorry.
I totally got all of it through the owl door.
You're bashing the wizards for using owls, and you're calling someone on aloe juice.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
I don't want to hear it.
You gotta do what you gotta do. I need a response. The aloe juice was all I had. I mean, I also have a cell phone right here, but the aloe juice was much better. Oh.
Shall we make a call on air?
Mm-hmm. I think it'd be interesting. Chad, don't say anything too provocative. Not that it could actually hear him.
Then you're going to hear in the back. Ring, ring.
I would love if it picked him up somehow. It'd be the greatest thing. exactly what I was thinking.
He's not gonna answer.
It's more like tastes so good.
He'll call back.
But does that mean he's at work still?
It should, unless he's driving.
If he's driving, he's answer, so he knows to make a stop. But if he's not, then
I'm walking home. See you guys. I'm walking home.
Mm-hmm.
Horrible co-host over here.
She's walking home. I'm sure. In a metal thing with 4 wheels. She's going to walk home.
I am going to get picked up by an owl.
Well, that is your preferred way of traveling.
What were we talking about today? About, sorry, I just almost walked right into a conversation I didn't want to. I was originally going to say, what were we talking about today?
Oh, there's copy restrict right there.
Yeah.
Music.
Hello? Hey, what's up? Oh, sorry. So you're home already? Okay, just wanted to make sure. Okay, love you. Bye. So.
Well, he definitely got off at 8.
Yeah.
And immediately went straight home without asking any questions.
Yeah. He usually texts and says, "Oh, do you need it?" Because I told him, "Hey, I'd let you know," but you'd think he'd send a text and be like,
would have been useful. So I guess I am taking home.
Yeah.
That is happening. So we're going to end it here.
But what was I about to say?
I don't know.
I was about to walk into a conversation where I said, "What were we talking about today regarding size?" And then I realized I didn't want to have that conversation. But it was about me.
Everyone should go get a Hatchimal for your kids.
Goodness!
They sell Hatchimals for children.
The Hatchimals are for children.
Not these Hatchimals. I'm sorry. These Hatchimals should not be for children.
So pretty much it is a stick about yay big with an egg on the top of it, and I assume a little Hatchimal on the inside.
Yep.
But the
and when you press the button, the little Hatchimal spins, and the whole thing vibrates.
The whole thing vibrates.
It's about 6 inches long, circular, with a little bit bigger top on the top, and it vibrates. Yeah, that's the Hatchimal. It's a Hatchimal.
Yeah, you're fired.
That's all it's for.
Yeah, it's for kids' enjoyment.
Exactly.
Red flags everywhere. The red flags. So he spent the entire day carrying it around in his back pocket. And
asking people if they wanted an Hatchimal.
Yeah, just holding it up and going, "Here, you look like you need this."
It was great. It's great. I had a great time. It's the best 30 minutes of my life right there.
At first he was just walking around with it, and then I thought it ended until he walked by, and his back pocket was...
I need to know if people wanted an Hatchimal.
Oh my god.
It's the only enjoyment I get at work, okay?
No, but today I said something about either something is this or I'm too small.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember what it was. And you said it's probably a little bit of both, and Barbara agreed, and I don't remember.
I don't remember. It was very early in the morning at that point. I don't remember the exact quote.
I don't know either. Okay. Oh well.
Let it be. Let it be. We're going to call it. Amanda's going to finish up a few things. I'm going to take her home, and she's going to finish things. And tomorrow, as always, there will be a comic. This is in the future. There will be a different comic at that point. Not this particular comic. It'll be the week before. So, I know.
It's
future,
Friday.
Past, yes. No, it's not. Oh!
It is not tomorrow.
There's comics. Things happen. On Wednesday, there are comics. They happen. Go check those out.
I'm sorry for anyone who's made it this far. I mean, we love you, but I'm sorry.
Yeah, if you're the hardcore person who's actually made it this far into the conversation, we don't even know what's going on.
One!
You watched the conversation on a cell phone.
We know one. We miss you. Thank you for joining us.
I don't even know you, so I can't miss you.
You can miss him.
Okay.
You can miss them.
Okay.
Okay.
I will say that you've missed at work. We had a particular coworker there's a gentleman up front
Mm-hmm.
and a coworker walking by,
Mm-hmm.
and he yelled at her something about calling her his sunshine or something. So I decided to respond about, "Oh, you calling me sunshine?" And now me and him, my pet name is Sunshine, and so is his. And we go back and forth. It's been fun. I'll explain more off the camera. It's fun.
Anyways,
it's fun.
We love you guys. Subscribe, comment, like things.
Yep. You can
visit us on Facebook.
Yeah. Why visit all kind of places. You can reach me at Stars Untraveled. You can reach Amanda at Casey Pup. You can reach the show at Beyond Our Focus on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube for sure, and podcast services. As always, check out the other shows, and especially the comics. We're pretty happy with the comics. I like the comics. They're a lot of fun. Anything else?
Yep.
Till next time! Long days and pleasant nights.